Welcome to the Columbus Regional Airport Authority snow removal on the Plow edition is what we're going to be calling this one. Now we're in the interior cab. We just got done with our pre-trip inspection, so we're just going to go kind of across the top and what some of these controls do so you know what to do when you're out there. So coming across the top here, this first gauge don't you really have to worry about. That's for programming different for the mechanics. This is traction control high, low. You got to kind of push that button in and go like that, but however, just kind of let it sit right there. This is your differential locks. When you're on dry pavement, you don't want any differential locks on. But this is the front, the middle, and then the rear of all yours. And these will light up too when the ones are selected or actually on. Windows, sorry, we haven't joined the 21st century yet. It is a hand crank. It's kind of funny. Wipers, just like that we had in the front mounted brooms. Wipers for your side mirrors or your side windows are great. Ground radio to talk to air traffic control. Obviously, if you are not trained on that, please do not do that. So as we move across to back here, here's the gear shift. It looks very familiar to what you saw in the front mounted brooms. But then we got our gauges, our fuel gauge, our DEF diesel exhaust fuel gauge, our RPMs, our temperatures, our oil pressure, move speedometer, and we got our air brake. So when you're trying to build up air pressure, here's where you're going to focus at. As we move across here, if you want to turn on the lights, there's like kind of two. This is for just to have them on if you want everything to light up. You got Plow truck lights on, so there's everything else. Your beacon, your front, your side mirrors, that's defrost. This is for your front windshield defrost. Here's the deluge buttons. It will literally dump a whole bunch of fluid everywhere. If you do want your windshield wipers on the front, you got that, but then also you got washer fluid here too, so you can kind of do that. Here is your climate control right there. So if you want hot, defrost, a couple of different settings, you're just gonna have to play with that just to try to figure out what you want. Here's your air brake. So obviously when you start it up, you're gonna have to put your foot on the brake, push this in, and then select a gear to get it going. Also down here is our mirrors, how to adjust your mirrors. So you're gonna take a quick look at that. So and down here, this is for coordinated steer. If you remember what I talked about with the front mounted brooms, with the rear tires being able to turn, this is the same thing. Currently, if you're in all-wheel steer, it'll say coordinated, so your back tires will kind of turn opposite directions. And you can kind of, if you just want two of them or if all of them do it, you can control all with here. I just highly recommend just keep it in all steer. Just remind you guys that when you do that, is your back end's going to kick out on you, and you're going to be able to turn in a tighter around corners and whatnot. So just be mindful of that. All right, so as we come up here, we're going to take a look at this. This is your rear camera, and as you can scroll through, we only have actually the back camera, and ideally you probably want it on this since it's bigger, but you can scroll through this and there's different settings like that. But obviously, since we don't have the other cameras, the rear camera is kind of, the back is what you want. So we'll just kind of hit the down button on that a couple of times until it brings up what we want, and we should be almost there right now. So that's what we kind of want there. All right, so the meats and potatoes of what this equipment can do. When you put material in the back of the in the bed, this is what controls it. So it's very simple once you get the hang of it. So it is a pre-wetting system. So you can see here, pre-wet is on now, or pre-wet is off. Oops, I'm sorry, you hit the bottom for off, top for on. And you kind of can see down here, it's off right now, so it's grayed out. Now it's on, okay? There are different settings for each ones, but we have our spinner adjustment, that's the blue knob. And if you look down here, also blue knob. They do the exact same thing, so you can control it up here or down there. But we usually want our spinner set at 70%. If the supervisor, or if you notice, or somebody notices you're not getting the coverage you want, you can crank it up a little bit. Or if, let's say, you're going into like a closer to the terminal, or you want to kind of have a smaller area, you want to scroll down to 30-40%, but we like to keep it at about 70%. That's the blue button. The green button, as you see, it's on standby right now. You got to push it and it goes. So we have different settings here. 158 is 0.5 pounds per ton. That's just kind of, they have it in lane miles here, but you know, we kind of had to do something. So there is a chart, and I'll show you that right here. This is an older chart, but we'll get this updated, and you can kind of see what correlates. So 475, if we go this, put this up to 475, we're doing 1.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So as you scroll down, you kind of can see it changes on you. So we want to start every snow event or every event at the lowest setting. If we're in ice, we'll maybe kick it up, but if you have any questions, ask the supervisor where you should be. So then the pre-wet, you go down here, you can dial, there's different settings on the pre-wet. Like I said, off and on, and the pre-wet is set at 10 gallons per ton, and that's the same thing too, is you can change that by pushing this button down here. You got to push it in. You know, once you push it in, it kind of starts to control it. And once you got to where it is, you just kind of push it again. But yeah, this button that you just saw controls that. Again, we want step 1 is 10 gallons per ton. That's where we start at. If we want more, we can always increase it. So it's pretty good. Moving your way down to this control right here. Here is the joystick for the plow. Yeah, as you can see, you push it, pull it back, it will bring it up. Push it down, it'll go down, left, right. Pretty simple is that. The float is, you always want that on. If it's off, when you put it down, as you go over bumps or changes in elevation of the pavement, you're going to be digging in. So if it's floats, just think it kind of floats on your on top of the pavement there. We'll go over hitch disconnect and connect once we start putting the hitch or putting the plow on itself. Tarp close. One thing, when we load the plows, these new plows, we have a loading dock in the back of the compound, and you need to load it that way. If not, if you try to do it from the ground level and the loader and the plow truck are on ground level, you're gonna basically, when you tilt the bucket, you're gonna hit the side and cause some damage. So I'm gonna show you, if you wanna zoom out there, this is the close. You hit it close, you kind of see the tarp rolling across. Once you get chemical or material into here, when you close it, it protects it from the element getting wet and stuff. Our chemicals, and then we do it. Is it closing?
It's closed.
It's closed, okay. So anyway, and then spreader, these are for the spreader lights, so you kind of can read that. So that pretty much sums it up. Or the next video will show us how to start it up and go and hook up the plow. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.